1, 2. Okay, that's enough. Finally, we are all three here. Good to see everyone. Zen Appeal Yoga today. We will be doing a 60-minute beginner flow. Nice for the morning to get the blood going and loosen up the body so that we can take on the day from a place of feeling good in the body and in the mind. My name is Tanya Peale. I've been teaching yoga since 2008. I do have a regular studio teaching schedule. You're more than welcome to pop into an actual class as just Tanya. I'm at Gaia Flow Yoga, all 3 locations. You can check online. We will eventually have classes here at the studio soon. We'll see how that goes. But for right now, we do have our online schedule and just the Sunday practice until people want more. So here we are. So let's prepare for practice. Come into your comfortable sit. Me, I just like to come into a nice sukhasana, one leg in front of the other. And then arms, you can just rest them just on top of the feet around the ankles. Soften the eye gaze or close the eyes and start to notice how you feel. How's the physical body today? How's the mind today? When we notice all these things about ourselves, we're moving from a place of no judgment. We can't affect how we feel on a daily basis. Some nights we sleep poorly. Myself last night slept poorly. But still I made it to the mat. Right? I may not be my most 100% self, but today's a gentle practice, so I know that I chose the appropriate practice for this body today, this morning. So we'll start to move into the waves of our breath. Each breath has 2 waves. Inhale and exhale. Sometimes in the morning it's hard to find the rhythm of the breath. Again, every day is different and new, no matter how long you've been practicing. Sometimes we have a dysfunctional day, right? Things that should be as usual are not. They're different. And we just observe. We try to get our regular breathing pattern down, our regular body patterns down. See if we can get close to our place of balance before we even move into practice. We begin practice with setting our vibrational intention by chanting the auspicious word of Om. Hands at the heart, Anjali Mudra. Big breath in here. Om. Thank you. Namaste. So lie down. You started for practice. All the way flat. Resting the arms, resting the head. So we'll take our nice long body stretch, reaching the arms up by the ears, interlace the fingers, push the palms to the back of the room. Nice stretch with the shoulders, sides of the bodies, and extend this stretch all the way down the legs into the feet, spreading the toes out. Squeeze the knees into the belly. Check in with how you feel in this shape, hip flexors, lower spine. First things you notice. Don't release the arms, let the legs fall over to your right side. And relax the lower back, the waistline, the legs, anything that you feel that's bringing a bit of resistance into this pose or shape. I find myself squeezing the little patch of skin in between my eyebrow, but it might be the light coming in from the windows. Other side, up and over. Again, we try to relax those places of resistance that are popping up. So we're going to move through some similar hip openers here that I like to do at the beginning of practice. I've noticed I've been doing these similar shapes for quite a while now, and they've shown to be more positive in my body than the other direction. So we'll come to center. Take another squeeze of knees into the belly. And then our ball shape here with knees together, we're going to open up the knees. Wrap the arms around the knees, pulling the thighs to the outer edges of the ribs. Let everything else relax or calm down. So our right leg we'll keep here on the left leg. Let go down to the earth, whether the foot is flat to the earth, it's a bent leg or straight leg, all the way down. And this stretch here, you can have a couple of different intentions. You can be soft and just hold on to the right knee by itself and let everything else relax, or a little bit more intentional. That's pressing the left leg, knee down to the earth. I'm even pointing my foot to make my leg feel even longer. Same thing on the right side. I have more energy into the foot, into the leg. So I feel more space happening through the pelvis. Take the foot up above the knee. And again, you can hang out from a relaxed place or be more intentional, asking for space. Pull down on the right foot while you're pressing down the left knee to the earth. And again, there's an option of left leg being bent. Doesn't have to be straight. Right leg, extend to the right. So it's whatever right straight leg is going to do for you here. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight. We just do what we can every time we show up for the mat. Left leg, come over to meet the right. Another twist, but this time 2 straight legs. And again, it doesn't have to be 2 straight legs. It can be bent legs. Just find some sort of twist over here on the right side of your body. The left leg, we'll let go back down onto the mat. Right leg will pull up in front of its own hip. And here, what I like to do is I notice that my right hip likes to hike up. Yeah. So I let my left hand reach for the leg somewhere to hold on. And the right one, I take right into the space, right? Where my hip and thigh meet. And I press down there with my thumb or with the whole heel of the hand, wherever I can grab in to press down. And it gives me a bit more stretch in the IT band and hamstrings, but a bit more balanced. One more breath. Figure 4 stretch. Let the left knee come into the belly, right leg cross on top. Thread through, catch leg. So this gives you an external rotation in your right leg. So we feel the stretch in the glutes, your rotators in the hips. And left leg is just sort of hanging out here. If you want to bring the left leg in, make it a straight leg, reach up higher. Somewhere. And again, straight is relative to you. So we'll take another twist here. So we keep the shape of the figure 4, but we let the legs fall to the left. You can guide the legs to the left by holding left hand to left foot or leg. So left leg has option to be straight or bent. Right leg is exactly where it was just a second ago. It hasn't changed. Bring the figure 4 back up in the sky. We're going to let this shape of legs come up to sitting. So come up, just a little kick, however you get there. You can leave the leg crossed above the knee on the left or let the foot drop down and make it just a regular head to knee pose, up to you. I'm just going to leave it up top and see what kind of forward fold I have right now. So hands reaching in front, breath, fold over the legs, rest the head, hold here for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, we rise up. Exhale, we're staying with the right leg, right foot flat. So this is a Marichiasana. I have my right leg basically folded, right? Like you take a piece of paper, you just fold it. So it's folding on top of itself. So the foot is not moving to the inner thigh. It's not moving out. Just take the bone and fold it just like a paper. One bone on top of the other. Then we're going to hold the leg with the right arm. So right arm wraps around and grow tall. So see how my back flattened out, right? You may notice that you might still be rounded, right? That's just telling you you still have tightness in the glutes and the hamstrings, hips, etc., etc. So nice and tall here. Keep some energy in your left leg as well. I have Left foot in dorsiflexion. I'm also activating the top of the thigh so you can feel that my heel is coming off the mat. So wrapping around with the other arm. So take the left arm to now catch the right leg. Take the right hand behind the back. So from here, we're going to make this a twist. I'm going to pull the right leg left and open up the chest right. So my eye gaze over the right shoulder. That feels good right now. And hold here. I'll stay for 3, 2, and 1. We come to center. Inhale, let the knee fall off to the side. So another folding forward pose. This one will be head to knee. So square the hips to the front of your mat, take breath and fold. So if you have a bind, there's a bind that you can take with the foot. So we're on right side, so we catch right wrist with left hand. You can take mudra, 4-finger and thumb together with your left hand, palm facing out. You can use the arms to help pull yourself over the leg, pull the belly in, chin to chest, as long as it feels good to you. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, we pick up. Exhale, release. Let's open up the hips. So I have half Upavishtakanasana, or half wide-legged fold. I have one leg straight and the other one is bent in external rotation. I'm still external. Hands in front of the hips, take breath. And start to go down to hands, elbows, flat, whatever you can do. This one also feels good today. Stay for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, we pick up. Exhale, let's take internal rotation. So right knee goes forward. Right foot tucked under. So we're trying to get the hips to get closer to the earth. Sitting bones, both of them, right? I can tell that my right hip is a little high in this moment, which is fine. I don't feel pain. It just feels, lifted a little off balance. But I do feel a nice stretch in my foot, a nice stretch in the shin. And as soon as I start to recline back or lean back, I'm going to feel a stretch in my thigh. So let's start to go back, reach the hands back. For some of you, that might be it. Maybe it's elbows. And I can already feel a pretty good stretch there too, or flat. So when you go flat, you'll notice that you'll have some space underneath your lower back. That's just from the hips being tight. If everything was nice and loosey-goosey open, I would be flat with my back to the floor. But I'm still working through all these spaces first. And for those who are flat on the floor, you have an option of left leg bend. Plant the foot here. So it'll just pick up the left pelvis and bring a little bit more stability or balance in the pelvis. I find that I like the shift. And hold here for 3, 2, and 1. All right, so we start by releasing. If you had the left leg bent, go along with that one and just bring yourself up. Inhale it. Release the right leg. We'll take it on top of the left. So I call this one a pencil. It's a variation of a Paschimottanasana, which Paschimottanasana is just 2 legs side by side, forward fold. You can grab the feet in all different kinds of manners with your hands. So here, I'm basically making a sharp pencil, right? I use the pointed foot or the plantar flexion, right? The pointed foot. So I have my point here with the toes, and right leg on top of left. So when I go into the fold, I'm going to feel my right leg wide a bit more than the left one, the bottom one. So hands in front, take breath, and fold down. I sure did. Nice breath here. And we'll stay for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, rise up. Exhale. We're going to keep going right side. Just see what it feels like today. So tuck the feet under, and we'll shift into box. Box is hands and knees facing down. I always think of, for me in my mind, the box. My belly is the inside of the box, right? So to seal the box, I have to face down so that I don't let the contents of the box spill out. So here's a closed box using the floor as the other side. So from here, the fingers are spread in the front, knees are underneath the hips. I'm going to move into cow pose. So cow pose looks like back bend. Cows have heavy bellies, so you let the belly drop, right? Hips rotate up, head comes up to inhale. On the exhale, we tuck chin into the chest and we push the shoulders away. So chin to the chest, and to push the shoulders away, I press into the earth and I make this Halloween cat or scary cat shape here with my upper back, right? That rounded like the cats do. And we'll go again. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Neutral spine. First we'll bring our knees all the way together and send the right leg back. We pick up the right leg, inhale up. Exhale, bend knees, stack hips. So literally just the hips move. I'm trying to keep everything else still. This articulation or movement here, you should be able to open the hip, close the hip, yeah, and drop the knee on the other side of the left shin. And then open hip, drop hip. See if you have that range of motion. Yeah, it's good to take shapes to see what you learn about yourself, and this might be one of them. Because this rotation, you might have lost somewhere along the way, depending on where you are in your physical practice of any kind, right? Of any kind. I mean, when do you take this movement, unless you happen to be in yoga, right? Or dance, for that matter. And it has to be like a ballet, tap, jazz, modern, maybe hip hop kind of thing. Not, maybe even a ballroom or something like that. Okay, so let's open and move on. So inhale, open, knee into the belly, nose to knee. We'll let the footsteps float. Hands on the earth. So my hips, I push them as far forward as I can to feel the back leg get a nice stretch. Front leg will add on. Inhale, extend, flex the foot up. When you flex the foot up, you get the calf stretch. Bend, exhale. So take a look at my hands, right? I have my fingertips on the earth, but I can drop down to the palms. But I can tell I have a little bit of rounding in my back, so I'm going to keep my fingertips on the earth and keep the flat back. So if you see from my crown of the head to the back knee, there's a straight line, right? So if you need blocks, I keep reminding I have blocks behind me over here if I need them. As you can tell right here, I'm pretty good. So if I were to use a block, I would be up even higher, but that's still okay too. Sometimes it's good to come back a little bit. So blocks are extensions of what? Arms. So if you ever need more length, blocks are your friends. Let's go again. Inhale, extend. And bend. So let's take this pose, interlace the fingers, push out, up, and away. So get the arms behind the ears, really open, expand the ribs and the shoulders. Exhale, hands with the front foot, and send the leg back out again. So inhale, big stretch out. Bend knees, stack hips. So we're opening up again, checking back in to see if we have more range of motion or if things feel different. Just take a few. And then come back to straight leg. Nice big reach, hips square down, not open, right? Hips down. We take right foot outside of right hand. So this is lizard. So when you move out here, you might notice you have more room pushing forward, right? Because we moved the leg, the bone just out of the way. So we have this open space, right? That's just, I guess, logic if you want to go there. Spatial awareness. So again, we'll take an inhale, extend the front leg. So now you might notice, oh, look, I can get my elbows down. See if that's something you can do. And bend. Right arm up and back. And we have the foot back here that we're going to give it a bend. See if we can catch it with the hand. And for some of you, that might be enough stretch. For others, maybe you want more. That's a lot of stretch. Ooh, I'm tight. I've got a different schedule this week, so I've missed like 4 practices due to engagements for clients, and then my boy, etc., etc. He's not feeling very well right now. He'll be fine. It's just a nasty virus. Ooh, big stretch. Hold on. Let's let it subside a little bit. So when you come into a stretch like this one that gives you a lot to feel, make sure you're breathing. Because if you focus on the feeling, it's just going to get worse. It's going to go in the wrong direction. But if you focus on your breathing, breathing promotes relaxation. So you'll be able to stay here longer in a pose that's very challenging. Ease, with ease. All right, very nice. Inhale, we let go. Exhale, hands down. So I have both hands on the inside of the right foot, back foot. I've tucked the toes under. So from here, I'm going to push back to a downward facing dog. So inhale up, exhale back, downward facing dog. So I'm just going to see what it feels like today in my downward facing dog. First one is right here. Moving through my toes a little bit, my foot, the ankle, the knees, and the hips. My feet are hip width distance, arms are shoulder width distance. So let me give you some shapes to observe here. So if I'm rounded like this, maybe it's because in my back, you can see it, this rounded shape. This might be because I'm maybe not aware my back is round, or I'm not, I'm tight in the hamstrings and I can't, or and hips and I can't push all the way back. So if that's the case, you would soften the knees and push the chest back to that nice straight line here. Heels are trying to press down. So for me, I have pretty good shoulder stretch already, so I can drop down and make a downward facing dog, a shoulder stretch for myself. Just by letting the chest drop back towards the legs. I actually like the way that it feels. It's like a melting heart, but on your feet, for those who know what a melting heart is. So we'll take the heels high here. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bend into the knees. We're actually going to come down to sitting. So let's come back then. And sit. So we'll let our legs find a butterfly shape. So I'm not actually going to come forward in the butterfly. I'm going to stay back here. So I'm behind my hips. I'm not on top of my hips. But I'm going to actively press my knees down. So I'm actively pressing down. So you might notice that you might be up in any way, shape, or form. Just lean back and press the knees down. Hold here for 3, 2, actively pressing. And 1, we're going to let the left knee come over to the right one. So this is a twist, right? It's a slight twist. It's not an everything twist, but it might be more twist for you. And then we open back and we close the door on the other side. So right knee to left. And open. So now we're going to check in with some shapes with a little bit of yin yang. So opposites. Our right leg will stay here in external rotation. The left one goes in internal rotation. And you can leave them where they were. Like I'm going to say my right leg is unchanged from our cobbler pose. And my left one, I tried to take the similar shape with the other direction. So this angle, my thigh angle is exactly the same. I just changed my shin and just lean back. So of course you're going to get a thigh stretch on the left. Right leg is just hanging out. Not doing too much there. Okay, so my right leg, I'm going to give it something to do. I'm going to open up this angle. So I'll flex the foot and I'm going to pull my angle just extending from the knee. I'm going to take my chest and come up towards this foot. Take breath and see where your head can go in relationship of this foot. So now I feel stretching both hips. Just hold. And we stay here for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, we rise up. This one, we're going to take the other side. So first, let's come back to our cobbler. Just to get our feet in the placement. And then the right one, we turn in, get the shin behind. So I'm trying to keep my thighs in the same shape. And I notice already that I have a different shape in the thighs here. My right hip seems to be a little bit more tight than left. That's probably the cause. It needs more stretch to open. All right, so we change the angle of our left leg. We open it up. And then head to foot. Oh, my hip just popped. I still don't know if that's a good or bad thing. But I don't feel pain after the popping, so I'm going to say it's okay. I'm not going to call it good. I'm going to call it okay. Stay. I'm going to try to relax the right hip. It's very challenging. Stay for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, we pick up. Exhale. Let's release the legs to the back of our mat. Okay. So from here, we take a balance for the core. Let's see if we can take a little bit of a boat pose. So for boat, we're balancing on our hips. So maybe you grab the legs and you start to balance. Maybe you can extend the legs up in the sky. And yes, the feet are pointed. Maybe you can reach up for your feet, flexed or pointed. And then lift out of the lower spine. That's challenging. But then maybe you just let the legs lie and reach the arms. Hold 3, 2, and 1. Inhale up. Fold here. Just a regular Paschimottanasana. If you want to do something with the feet, you can align them up so that they are, toes up here are straight across the ball of the foot. I can tell my ankle, which is always a little source of learning experience there, is wanting to bow out or underpronate. You take fold. So inhale, we pick up, open. let's start to come back down onto our mat. So we start to contract, starting down low, yeah, rolling back. We're going to come back to another long body stretch. Arms up, interlace and push away. And extend the stretch all the way down the body. Nice stretch at the shoulders. Knees into the belly. We take a squeeze. So it's been a minute since we checked in here. So what's going on with you? Flatten out your ball, open. I'm starting to feel a lot of balance already in my hips and hip flexors and lower back. So we keep the left one here, release the right leg down. Remember extending out of the right leg all the way through the toes. You're pressing right knee down to the earth, or the foot is flat. That's a bent leg. That's an option too. So we have left foot up above the knee, pull down. So I have a lot of space I can feel already in the body. Open up this angle, extend the leg left. So we have two straight legs. Still pressing right knee down to the earth. All right, so right leg will come over to meet the left. We have a twist here. And again, it doesn't have to be two straight legs. It can be bent. It's a nice twist. All right, right leg back to where it was. Left leg we bring straight up in front of its own hip. So here, this hip, not so much as right, doesn't hike up as much as it does on the other side, but still I'll give it a press down. So either the thumb or the heel of the hand, just in that nice corner where the thigh and the hips meet. I use the right hand to hold on to the leg wherever. And I'm going to press down and give my leg a pull back in towards my face or torso a little bit more. That's a nice stretch. Hold here for 3, 2, and 1. Figure 4. From here, right knee comes in, left leg cross on top. We thread through to catch the right leg. So we have our left leg in external rotation. So we're getting a stretch to the external rotators, glutes, hip. Right leg is just hanging out, but if you want to bring some stretch into the right leg, make it straight and reach up. So and you can reach up anywhere, right? And straight is relative to you. Doesn't matter what I'm doing. I mean, I guess to a degree I am teaching, but you know what I mean. Just don't mimic me if that's not your practice. All right, so here we have another twist that we can do. The shape of the legs, we let them fall to the right. So you can help guide the legs down to the right. Right hand holds on to right leg. Guiding, or just simply gently let them fall over to the right side. So we're still stretching out the hip. We've kept the left leg in external rotation. Right leg could be straight or bent. You choose it. Just try to relax, find your breath. So just a note, This isn't a, as you can tell so far, a traditional, we'll call it a vinyasa practice that would require an ujjayi breath, right? That forceful in and out breath with sound that you would see in a shadow class or something like that. So you could just take just an awareness of your breath. Make sure that you're focusing on the inhales and exhales. You can take moments where you might feel ujjayi come in if you know what that is. But other than that, I'm just moving with an awareness of my breath. If you want to call it lahari pranayama, you can. I would even take it a couple of notches down from that. It's just an awareness of my breath and feeling myself breathe is where I practice from. All right, so the legs come back up in the sky. So this shape we're going to bring up to sitting. So we nice little rock up. And so the left leg can stay where it is above the knee. Or you can let the foot drop on the inside and take a regular head to knee pose. All right. So gently, we take breath. See what kind of forward fold we have here. Fold down. Woo! We feel a lot of stretch there. All right. Inhale, we rise. Exhale. Take our right leg and we open up the hip. Okay. So half of the Visha, one leg is still in external rotation. At the other side, one leg is long, hands in front. Take breath. Exhale, go down. Notice your hips, notice your spine. Try to relax. Stay here for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, we rise. Exhale, left leg internal rotates. Okay. So again, we're checking in with our sitting bones underneath our pelvis. We're trying to feel them more grounded. This side is a little bit better. My left thigh is more relaxed than my right one. But I feel a big stretch in my ankle, top of the foot, and through the point. And that's about it. So from here, we're going to start to lean back. So take breath. Exhale, lean back to the hands. So you might already feel some stretch happening. And keep going to the elbows. So I already feel quite a bit of stretch in the thigh, but this one I can take with more ease down to the earth. And again, you may notice that there's still back bend here. It's still from nice strong thighs, hips need a little bit more space. So if you want to bring a little bit of balance to the pelvis, right leg bends, plant the foot. You'll pick up the right hip a little bit and bring some balance into the pelvis. And you stay here for breath. We stay for 3. 2. And 1. Right leg release. Down. If you had it up. And just gently start to make your way up. So now we take our Marichi Asana, and it's a variation of the pose. I do a lot of variations. I find that my body is not so black and white when it comes to shapes and poses. I need kind of the in-betweens, the grays. And so I do a lot of grays when I teach too. So voila, here we are, lots of grays. So we take our leg bones and we're folding it like a paper, right bone in front of and behind each other, right on top. So the foot's not on the inner thigh and the foot's not out far. We're just trying to have the hips square and fold the bones and catch. So my right leg is active. And right when I catch, I try to get into a long spine, a flat back. So we're coming into twist again. So now catch the left leg with the right arm and let the right hand reach back. So here I pull the leg right while I open the chest left. So whenever you're ready, take an inhale into the nose and exhale. Pull and twist. Oh yeah, that's a nice stretch. Stay here for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, we come back to center. Exhale, we find our head to knee pose. So we let the knee fall off to the side. The foot is on the inner thigh. Square the hips to the back of the mat, which is now the front of the mat. Take breath and fold. So there's a bind that you can take here. We're on left side, so you would catch left wrist. And then mudra, forefinger and thumb together, palm facing out. You can use the arms to help pull you over the leg. Stay here, belly's in for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, release. All right, we have our pencil shape. Left leg on top of right. So the reason why I call it a pencil is because it's kind of shaped like a pencil. The feet make the point, the lead at the end that you write with. For those who know what a pencil is, I should say that. And so left leg is on top of right with a little bit of external rotation, right? The legs, the knees are a little bit moving out to the side. Hands in front, take breath. Fold over legs. Woo! Mm-hmm. And stay here for 3, 2, 2.5. Little extra. And 1. Inhale, pick up. Exhale, cross legs. Tuck under, we shift into box. Okay, so you guys kind of get like this side back version. Instagram, sorry about that, but it is what it is. It's fine. You'll survive. Okay, so spread the fingers underneath the shoulders with the arms and the knees and thighs underneath the hips. So here we take inhale, cow pose. We take our back bend again, check in, see what it feels like. 3rd time here, exhale, cat. So cat pressing into the floor, shoulder blades move away. There's that Halloween cat again. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Neutral spine, we close the knees. So we open and close the hips here. So our left knee, inhale, open. Literally, it's just the hip moving, try not to move anything else. So open up the hip and then close the hip. Let the knee fall to the outside of your right calf or shin. And then again, we open hip. Exhale, close hip. You can take a few more on your own just to see what it feels like. You can go quick, you can go slow, you can move with your breath, it doesn't really matter. It's just to observe how your hips rotate, how your body moves. Let's extend the leg to the back, inhale, reach. Square the hips, not like this, not open. Square the hips to face down, right? Nice long leg. Pull the belly in, take breath. Knee to nose, and through. So hips pushing as far forward as they'll go. And then I'm coming to my fingertips here again because I see that I'm still a little rounded. Hips maybe still a little tight from the reduction in classes. And so working a flat spine from crown of the head to the back knee, which is the right knee. Front leg extend, flex the foot up, inhale. Bend, exhale. So that's that same conversation with blocks being extensions of your arms. Sometimes we need them, and it's okay. They're very, very, very good tools for your yoga practice. Also a strap. We'll come into a strap class one of these days, and I'm going to get probably, I have a regular strap, but those infinity symbol straps that are kind of a little bit more stiff that you can grab back. I'll probably move in that direction, bring one of those here. Just throwing that out there for those of you. One more, inhale, extend. And bend. All right, interlace the fingers in front. Let's take this pose. Back bend, extend the arms. And hands with the front. Front leg back out. And back to bending and stacking the hips. So here we're going to move our foot outside of the hand, coming in for another stretch. Lizard. So spatially, you might notice, oh, look, you have all this extra hips moving forward space. We move the leg out of the way so the hips can easily shift a little bit more forward. So just kind of notice that there's a little bit more space there for you. Inhale, extend front leg. And bend. All right. So here we're going to reach our left arm up in the sky. Inhale, send the left arm up, and then back reaching. So the foot again coming up. Here might be some space, but way up here is a whole lot more space. You may need to adjust the arm forwards. Big stretch. Hold here. Woo. So remember, what do? When the sensations become very strong, which in this stretch they are, we move into more breath. Inhale and exhale. You can soften the eye gaze and just really focus inside on your breath so that the big stretch and the space can happen for you. But you need to calm down. Get out of focusing on sensations and focus on the sensations of your breath. Stay for another 3. 2. And 1. Inhale, we let go. Exhale, hands down, back foot tucked under. So here we're pushing up and back to downward facing dog. So inhale, pick up, exhale, step back. Downward facing dog. Checking in with what it feels like today. Second time today. So again, if you find your upper back, you can feel that it's very rounded like this. So what do we do there? Soften the knees to push the chest back, right? To work your flat spine. And again, for me, I feel a whole lot of space already in my shoulders. I'm just going to take this time to stretch out my shoulders, pressing the chest down to the earth, making sure that my arms are strong when I'm doing this. And that I'm feeling my body so I don't push myself into any harm. That's very key and important. So last time here we came down. So this time we're going to stay up and come down later and finish with our Baddha and our little balancing hip pose. So we're going to take our feet and bring them together in the back. I'm going to take a right leg reaching up in the sky. So inhale, reach up high in the sky. Exhale, come through for a lunge. So this time it's full lunge on one foot flat in the front, bent leg, and back leg, nice long tail. So this is a lot of stretch if you let the hips come down. If you're very high, less stretch up here. So try to relax and let the hips soften down to the earth. So an inhale, we'll let our front leg get a stretch. Inhale, extend front leg. Exhale, bend front leg. And take a little pivot to left. Inhale, straight legs here. So, Prasadita Padottanasana. Wide legs, toes forward, flat back, hands on the earth. Take breath. On the exhale, let's bend knees. Think football. You know what it is, American football. Extend, inhale. Bend, exhale. Again, inhale. And bend, exhale. All right. So from here, we see if elbows can fall down. And then we see if elbows can move in line with our feet. Then we extend legs and we check with our forehead. If the forehead is already crushing the earth, we actually get our feet closer together and see if we can move the hands more through. You can do this in any way. I'm on carpet, so I really don't have anything to suction onto. So I'm going to use my elbows as little anchors on the other side or the back of the body, knees. You can also catch ankles and feet, whatever works for you. So from here, I bring my feet close enough so that my elbows can work as anchors. And then my spine underneath the hips. And that's a fantastic stretch. We hold here for 3, 2, and 1. Hands on the earth. Inhale, pick up. Exhale, catch waist. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, toes out. We're going to let the hips sink down, coming into a variation of goddess. This one is more supported by our bones. So let the hands catch the knees. Let the arms be straight, and then let the torso hang down. So if I'm holding myself up, I would look like this. If I'm letting the bones hold me to drop down, I look like this. So for those of you who know yin yoga, this is like a seal pose. It's the same arms, although they're a little bit wider, arms and spine. So we let the hips sink down and try to move through a nice wide stance. And that's a whole lot of space. Stay here for 3, 2, and 1. We get a little twist here. So right shoulder, prepare, arm, take breath. Exhale. So I keep my right arm super straight. I'm pressing against the knee. That's actually a fantastic stretch. I can even twist my head. 3, 2, 1. Inhale back. Exhale, push. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Inhale back. Up. Release. We prepare for triangle pose. So we're going to move this to the other side of the mat. So right toes point and turn towards me. Left toes point forward now to the original front of your mat. Arms out, hips back, reach. Take your triangle pose. Eyes up at the top hand. Lots of space. You can go anywhere with your palm today. I'm just going to stay here. Palm, left palm. So right arm, I'm going to give it a nice stretch forward. So inhale, stretch the arm forward. What do you feel more stretch in the right side of your body? Pick up. Left arm, go the other way. Inhale back. On the exhale, we spiral the front foot. We let our legs find lunge. This one's going to be a transitional lunge. So back heel comes up, right knee pointing down, left foot is flat. We're transitioning out to 3-legged dog. So left leg out. Exhale, come back to your lunge. So we're already moving into the other side. So here is the space, right, for the lunge. If you're up high, You're coming out of the hip, glute, hamstring stretch. So we let the hips drop down. We try to keep our back leg as long as possible. Our tail, hold this stretch. Hold the belly up if you like, support yourself. Front leg, extend, inhale. Whee. Bend, exhale. And we're taking a pivot. Again, but this time right. So we're back to center. Take breath, toes forward. Bend knees, exhale, bend. A lot more space. Third time around. Yeah, third time around. Inhale, extend. Bend. All right, so from this one, we see at first if elbows come and connect to the earth. Then we see if we can pull the elbows in line with the feet and then extend legs, inhale. If the forehead is touching the earth, that's a wrong neckline. We want a nice straight neckline or spine pointing straight down. So bring your feet closer together. And again, I'm going to use my elbows like little anchors behind my legs to help pull my torso underneath. But you can always catch legs anywhere with the hands. So go in, take your extension, hold the stretch for 3, 2, and 1. Pick up, inhale. Flat back, exhale, catch waist. Inhale, rise up. So we're moving into goddess pose again. Toes out, hands catch the knees. Knees are out. Bones. So we let the hips drop. The only thing I'm holding on to is my hands to the knees. Everything else is just bones. So I keep my arms straight and let everything else hang. Keep the space in between the knees very wide, like a second position plie, for those who know ballet. Hold, woo. Don't close your eyes, maybe. Stay for 3, 2, and 1. Breath. Exhale, find your twist. Set the eye gaze right. Super straight arm on the left. Feel the stretch. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, back open for the right side. Ooh, that was a good one. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, come back. Boy, again. Exhale up. Extend the legs. Getting shaky here. So we turn into triangle pose facing the back of the room, which was just a minute ago our front of the mat. So turn in for triangle pose. Left toes point to the side. Right toes towards the back of your mat or the front of your mat now. Arms are out, hips back, reach. Exhale, go in. So again, I'm just going to take my hand to the ankle or the foot, just whatever's comfortable today. I'm not going to reach for the big toe. Eyes up at the top and left side, length. Inhale, reach forward. So it's a straight arm. It's not just a hanging out arm. Straight arm pulls. Hanging out arm is a little bit more or too relaxed to feel the full stretch that you can get here. And then we come up and we let the right arm do the same for the right side of the body by taking an inhale, lean back. Nice stretch there. Spiral the front foot. We let our legs find full lunge. Again, so hands split the front foot, back heel comes up. We sink in. So this one, we just release to plank. So inhale, plank. Exhale, down, knees, chest and chin. Use the legs, inhale, ride the spine up. Tuck chin into chest. Let's take a child's pose. So we're going to use our little cobbler, hip balancer, twist, twist as the end of our practice today. As it is just working out to be like that. We won't come back to another of the boats You're more than welcome to do that on your own if you like. So we come down to sitting. And we check in with our cobbler, butterfly, Baddha, Kanasana bounding pose. See what it feels like from a more upright perspective. And you can still actively press your knees down while you're getting a nice and tall spine. See what that feels like. Feels not too bad, but there's my left knee. I feel my left knee. It's been bothering me for a while. You'll notice as you go on in life, even a very active person, you're not going to leave this planet without some kind of ouchie, oochie, boo-boo. But you can do your best to not cause harm to your body. But some things are just kind of I don't know. I think it might be something, which I'm fairly confident was something in my younger years of yoga, where I went into a pose unprepared or unpracticed, and voila, there started a meniscus issue or medial knee issue. You got to watch out for those lotus shapes, especially in the advanced Mauritiasanas. Don't do it unless you're already super open. And the Mauritiasanas we did today are not considered the advanced ones. The advanced ones would be with a half lotus, and instead of a straight leg and one leg bent, it would be a half lotus with a leg bent. And that's a lot of pressure for inside of knee. You'd have to already be practicing that for a while. But anyway, different story, another day. So let's see what we have. That was most of it. Let's see what we have going forward for stretch. And I'm probably just going to stay right here. I could probably make myself take the full pose, but my knee is not happy. So I'm just going to leave it as is. Okay. So I'm going to see if I can stay a little bit more upright and try to close the knees. So last time I was back here, you're still more than welcome to do that and close the knees for the twist on both sides. I'm going to stay more upright and see if I can go into twist. So now I feel more leg twist. I can probably help myself here, moving a little bit more right to feel more twist, and I do. And that's probably just enough for this one. And release, open, and go into the other side. And then maybe help myself a little bit, not too much. This side feels better than the other. C'est la vie. And open. Okay, so now we take one leg external rotation, one leg internal rotation. So we'll let our right leg be the internal. So I'm trying to leave my thigh in the same space and take my shin to the other side behind it. And I'm going to try to be a little bit more upright through this whole little ending series. Feels actually pretty good. So here I'm going to take the same open angle here on the front leg, the externally rotated leg, and fold head to foot. Let's see if my hip wants to pop. It already did though. Okay, so far so good. And we fold. Still a really good stretch for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, big up. Exhale, come back to cobbler first. And then find your other leg. So again, we're trying to keep the thighs in the same shape here and bring the shin to the other side behind. So we internally rotate and we try to have our thighs look just the same. Oh, more upright. Other side hip here felt better. All right, so let's open up the ankle and we take head to knee. Take breath. Go in. This side much more comfortable. And both hips with a fold. Hold here. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, pick up. Exhale, we let go of both legs. All right, Paschimottanasana. So nice straight leg. Again, you can adjust your feet in any way. Just look at your feet, toes, ankles, knees, thighs, on the way down into your fold. Are they the same, or do you notice some shifts or changes? That's just a learning point for you. Now you got to figure out why there's shift and changes in one side to the other. That's the discovery. But sometimes, actually, a lot of times we create bad patterns from boo-boos, like an injury, an ankle or foot or something. And that will show itself in so many other places in your body that you would never have known. So anyway, let's take breath. And full. All right, my friends. Inhale, pick up. Exhale, we can come back to Sukhasana as beginning of practice, or you're more than welcome to lie down. We are at the end of practice. There is nothing more that will be given today, but you yourself might have things that you want to see or experience in terms of a closing series or whatnot for you. So we take our seated meditation or a lying meditation, Shavasana. Arms, again, you can just rest. Bringing an awareness to breath. If you want to take your Ujjayi breath with sound, you're more than welcome to keep that. So we're going to take a Lahari Pranayama with an extra focal point. So Lahari Pranayama does have a focal point, just traditionally. It's your heart lotus. And how I like to think of it is every time my breath moves up and down from the belly through the diaphragm, lungs, up as far as I can pull it, and then reverse back down and out. Every time it passes through heart center, I think of the lotus flower blooms. Closes as I go up. Breath goes down, blooms, and goes back down and closes. So it's this constant opening of the flower as you move through heart center. That's how I view it. Lahari Pranayama. It gives a nice visual of opening of the flower. You can think of this in so many ways. There's so many metaphors that come with an opening of a flower. Opening hearts, birth, rebirth. List is long. So you choose if anything like that serves you in terms of mental imagery or a metaphor. Other than that, you don't have to listen to anything that I'm saying anymore. You can turn off video and enjoy just quiet space for your time, yourself. And notice what your body feels like now. We always do after every practice. What is new, what is gone, what still remains in the body and the mind. How did this practice serve us? Did we learn something about ourselves? Were there new sensations today you never felt before? Maybe a new shape of a pose, new variation. I get that a lot sometimes. I'll just take this time to relax, be calm. We have set good body and mind intentions to enjoy a more calm and relaxed Sunday, as every Sunday should be. Anytime that we have off, or actually any time of any day, is nice to be calm and relaxed and move from there. There's no better perspective now, is there? You have more focus when you're calm and relaxed. Anyway, always a pleasure. to lead you through your practice. I hope this practice served you in some way. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Remind yourself to like, subscribe wherever you are so that you will know when we have live events, either to watch then or check back later. It's always a pleasure. All right. Namaste.